Hello and welcome to my first guitar tutorial. This time we're doing Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. This song uses an old guitar and lots of cool tricks. You're going to need a slide for this song, but yeah, let's just get right into it. So here's the guitar you're going to need. This is a vintage Silvertone. He has a vintage Kay, which they're the same basically. This is made by Kay, just sold under the Silvertone name. His is a little nicer, actually a lot nicer. And what he did to it, he put craft paper all over his, so it looks different, and it cuts out the feedback a little bit, which I don't know why he did that because he really likes feedback. Anyway, he put a P90 pickup. I put a little piezo pickup, which does not sound as good, but I don't really want to permanently damage my guitar like he did. I mean, not damage, but alter. And if you know what you're doing, it won't damage it, but I don't, and I don't want to spend the money to get it set up when this works fine for me. We're going to tune it into open A. So the tuning, it's an E string, which this thing has bad tuners, so it's going to keep going out of tune, which is how Jack White liked it. So that's kind of cool. And then A string, so E, A, just like standard, and then D becomes an E. So this is just like an A chord, just tuned to that. So E, A, E, A, then C sharp, and then E. And it sounds like this. So the cool thing about this, every note you play, every bar you play, is a power chord. And then there's not really many chords you can do with this. There probably are, I just don't know any. And they're probably hard to play. But the main thing is you can take a slide, which I have one, and you're going to need that to play the song. Jack actually is a metal slide, which I lucked out. I was able to find one cheap. And so you're going to... There's a lot of sliding, so if you don't know how to play slide, you should. And he plays it on his pinky finger. I'm playing on my middle finger. And that's basically all you need. Just an open A guitar, preferably a hollow body vintage, and a slide. And yeah, that's really all you need. And then you can play the song just like Jack White. So let's get into that. Okay, so let's start out with that bass line that everyone knows. You might know it, but let's just learn it just in case you don't, in case you're a beginner or something. Because this song actually is pretty easy to play. So it's in the key of E minor. So what you're going to play, you're going to play on the 7th fret of the A. So you're playing. So what you're doing, 7, 7, so 2 7s, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2. And you're playing with this rhythm. And that's all there is to it for the verse, all the verses, and the opening, lots of parts of this song. And even the chorus, which I'll get into, or the instrumental, depending on what you want to call it, I'm off beat. That's just this. So then the pre-chorus is... So lots of people play it like this. I can't play because I'm in an open tuning. So it's actually, what he plays, since he's in the open tuning, is just the root and the 5th. So it's a G power chord. And he palm mutes, so. And then most people play an A, but what you're supposed to do if you want to be just like Jack White is you actually play the open strings. So you go like this. So now into the chorus or the instrumental. So what you're playing that. And you're just playing it on every string with the slide. So then lots of people play it like this. So there's a lot of variation there. So one thing you can do to sound just like the original, he doesn't play this live sometimes, but in the studio, at the end of that first part, so the chorus is split up into 2 sections. I'll get into the second section in a minute. But that first section, just the ending of that is a. So you can, I normally just go like this. Or like, which, that's not how he plays it, but that's how I play it. I go. On the up, I do a down and an up, and on that upstroke, I come in. And so how he plays it is. So now we're going to get into that second part. So what you're playing, start out for the first half of it, you're playing. Then, when you go down to that 3, instead of going to the 2, you slide back up to that 5 almost immediately. So it's. And then you go back to the 5, then you go back down to the 3, 2, and then this is more variation. Lots of people don't play it like this. They just go. But he actually plays an open string, which I've seen people play it like this. It's just not a lot of people do. So it's. So he plays that twice. He plays that. So he plays that twice. And then he goes back into the pre-chorus. So. One side note, on that pre-chorus, you're not palm muting for that A. You're not going. You're going. So you're going from to not. And anyway, so then it goes back into the verse, which is the second verse. So it goes. Which he palm mutes this. Side note about the tone. This is a major part. You're actually using a Digitech whammy as an octave pedal. So he's just holding that foot down. Well, he just lets his foot off. He just presses it down. And he's doing has it set to the octave setting, or octave down setting. So he's playing like a bass. Which if you're really in a pinch and you just want to play that verse, I don't know why you'd want to do this. I just know a fun fact about it. Most guitar strings, you can actually tune that E down to a B, and you just play 5, 5, 7, or 8, 5, 3, 1, 0. And that'll actually sound just like the bass, without an octave pedal. So if you just want to do it as a party trick, you can. It's just the string will be super loose. Like out of tune. I pulled on the string. This thing has bad tuners. No, I didn't go out of tune. Perks of having an old guitar. I gotta replace these tuners. I don't know if I want to, though, because it's vintage. Anyway, so he plays that verse. And then back into the pre-chorus after all the words. That part, he doesn't play that. I just play that when I play this live. It just sounds cool. So. And so then the solo, which you can play this a lot of different ways. I actually don't know exactly how he plays it. It seems like he plays it different every time. One way you can play it is take your whammy and then set it an octave up, push it all the way down, and oh my gosh, I can't even play it. Then it's and he repeats that. So what you're playing? 7, 7, 10, 7, 7, 10, 9. And then, so. And then instead of coming back to that 9 on the end, you're playing 12. You're playing 12, 10, 9. So you're playing. Then he repeats that whole part. So plays that twice, and then he goes into a super high part, which I'm not sure how he does this. Sometimes he plays it where he does no octave pedal. Which is the problem why I'm playing it with a slide now. He plays the slide the whole time for the solo. And the problem with that is I can't reach up that high with just doing this. which I can for that, but then whenever you go into that, yeah, it's hard to fret those notes, so it's easier just for me to play that as a slide the whole way around, even in the tutorial. But when you're playing this, actually, you want to play the whole thing of the slide with intense vibrato, so. How he's playing that, you're playing, just pretend I'm up here, because this is going to be hard, I might as well play it. So, you're playing, so once you're up there, you're going to play the, you're going to play that once, and then you're going to go into this. You're just playing a super high note, so. Which his guitar has more frets than this, I'm pretty sure. So he can play way up high, and then he comes back down to. So what he's playing there, he's playing. So he's playing 12, 12, 15, 12, 12, 15, 12, 8, 8, or 10, 8, and then back into the pre-chorus, so. He does this, and he just lets it ring out. So he's going to play a big chord. He's going to play. Then he gets close to the amp, lets it just ring out and feedback. Just feedback constantly through the ending of the pre-chorus after the second chorus. They're just going to let that ring out. Tons of feedback, and just create this huge sound. No drums. And then the bass comes in the. And it just sounds awesome in the recording. When he plays that live, he just lets it feedback. If you're listening to the Under Great White Northern Lights version, he even goes on the keyboard and starts playing random notes and arpeggios. It's really cool what he does at that part. Then, third verse, just the. So then he lets that third verse play. And then pre-chorus. Then chorus. And then, after that last chorus, instead of going back into the, he goes into this. Which what he's doing, he's playing. So he slides onto that 7, and then just kind of vibrato. And slowly slides back down. And then really quick, he slides back into it. Which you don't do that dead string, that was an accident. And then keep doing the dead string. Then you slide into it, big vibrato, and then back out. And that's all the song is. So now you know how to play, at least the studio version, of Seven Nation Army. It's really not that hard. Really, it helps to have an old guitar, specifically a hollow body. And then the open A tuning is very important. Lots of people just play in standard E and just power chords. Some people even play it without the octave pedal and just play. Just sounding like that. That doesn't sound very good. And once you add that slide and the open A tuning, it just sounds big. Especially with an amp and some distortion. By the way, distortion he uses, Big Muff Pie. Sounds just like Jack White. And it just sounds great. This is a really good song. The lyrics are powerful. One of my all-time favorite songs. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, maybe drop a sub. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.